Bitcoin weekend update and monthly close update. We are in September now, so let's take a look at where August closed. We have the monthly Bitcoin chart in front of us with the Gaussian channel overlaid. So here's our monthly August candle close. We closed after retesting again the 50-month EMA, this green line that's been quite significant for over a year now, right? Going back to May of 2022, where we initially tested at the 50-month, broke it the following month in June, came back retest a year ago in August. Underside retest of the 50-month right there, held as resistance, as you can see. Proceed down on our move back up again right here in February 2023. Resistance, January 2023, resistance, right? The green line, 50-month, it's quite significant on the monthly chart. Fall down again after double months of rejection at the 50-month. Hit it again. Look at the monthly Gaussian channel, the median line held as support. Rocket ship up, right? Braked the 50-month EMA for the first time. Proceeded higher. One more retest of the breakout, right? A throwback to the 50-month yet again. Held it with a wick, right? And then again in August. So back-to-back tests and holds of the monthly 50 EMA. So that will be quite significant going forward. 25.1, 25.2, right at it, right? This yellow line kind of shows you support and resistance. Look how many times we hit that, right at 25.1. So that will be significant. Now to the downside, maybe we get a kind of a crazy volatile September to the downside. Maybe we end up shaping up like a wick, like we did back in March, right? Where would the wick go? Well, likely based on this chart, it looks to me like the median Gaussian channel on the monthly, which is right around 23K. So keep that in mind if you see prices going down. Maybe it ends up being a wick. Maybe the first half September, we do nothing. Maybe the second half September, we do nothing. Maybe that's flipped and maybe early September we come down or late September, whatever. But the most important close for September, the end of September, right? October 1, we're going to check this again. The 50-month EMA needs to be holding as support, right? We broke back above it, right? Hopefully we've made that crystal clear. So now let's zoom into the weekly. Do we have any other information? Well, I'm glad you asked. Well, we have quite significant candle shaping up right here. What the hell could this be? Well, we have to wait till it closes, Sunday close, but we have a potential for a inverted hammer. What the hell is that? Well, maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you've heard of a shooting star. Very similar candles. Let's take out the Gaussian channel, right? So potential inverted hammer. Does it matter if it's green or red? Well, yes and no. No, it could still be a hammer if it's red or green, but if it's green, it has a higher conviction rate of, playing out. Also, you want to have context where these candles are. Usually at the top of an uptrend, right? Something like this. If this printed, that would be called a shooting star, right? And usually you'd look for those to be red. And those have a higher conviction rate. They can be green or red, right? There's higher conviction rate on a shooting star at the top of a rally if it's red. Higher conviction rate on an inverted hammer, very similar candles, if it's green, and at the bottom of a downtrend. So we kind of have one, right? It's at the bottom of a weeks-long downtrend, right? Hard to argue there. We're at support, the 200 week, right there in the pink. You see that? Right, and our key break right at that 25.1 level on the monthly chart. Remember this, that yellow line from the monthly chart, right? Previous resistance back here as well on the weekly. So if this prints, right, we have a decent shot, I would say, to move higher in the coming weeks. It doesn't always happen the very following. You can go back to late 2022 here, right, and a little bit different downtrend. Really not ideal, but something similar here. Long upper shadow. We went a little bit lower. The low here, 16.5, we went to 16.2, right? So not a significant amount lower. So even if we print this as an inverted hammer, doesn't mean we have to immediately, catapult up. It hasn't even confirmed as an inverted hammer. We still have, 2.5 days till we close this, right? But just showing you potentials of where we could be looking at, after a downtrend, inverted hammer prints on the weekly at support. We have a, better than 50-50 shot of, going back to the upside. So keep that in mind. We'll see where this ends up closing on the week, right? Watch that for the Sunday close. But we also want to be closing above 25.6, which is the 200 week. Otherwise, we get in danger. Then we need to zoom in a little bit more. So let's do just that. How about the daily chart, right? We've been consolidating. What the hell happened here, right? That's the grayscale news coming out of their victory over the SEC, and not so fast, a little bit early. And we're just, coming back to the mean, right around 26.1 seems to be what the average price today, a little bit lower. But here's that same line from the monthly, from the weekly. It's right here, right? That's our lows on the daily wicks as well, range lows. So we want to watch that. Let's zoom out a little bit more. There's a more significant level on the daily chart, and that is, well, you can just move this line down just a little bit right there. That closed. We don't want to close under here. That's 25.1. That would also be what? What would that be? A new lower low for the first time all of 2023 if we did that, right? We're been in an uptrend, right? 2023, higher highs, higher lows. By definition, that becomes in jeopardy if we take that out. So watch for that today, tomorrow, Sunday. We do not want to close under 25.1, right? That's significant, right? That's where your warning happens. But we don't have it yet. We're still in an uptrend by definition. Now, as of late, it doesn't seem like that, right? But if you zoom out, no doubt, right? All right. All right. So now are we bullish for sure and blinders on? No, of course not. Right? We're not dumb here, right? We realize that we've been in a downtrend since July, at least on this daily chart, right? Lower highs, lower lows, and not only that, but we're underneath every single moving average, right? So by definition there, you're more bearish, right, at this time, because underneath all moving averages, and you've been in a local kind of downtrend here. But zoom out, you're sideways consolidation here. Zoom out more, you're in an uptrend, right? So everything's in context, right? Don't believe everyone you say unless they can back it up, right? Just because someone says something and sound confident, you don't have to buy it unless they can show you reasons why, right? So I think I've shown you reasons why, bullish and bearish in both cases. So we're on the daily chart, we're leaning a little bit more bearish because of we're stuck under here, right? And we're in danger of putting in a lower low. So cautious here, but could be decent spots to buy, right? Maybe you buy here with a stop loss just right under here, right? Because then you can likely going to get a much better chance to buy lower, right? Where you could have a rock star buy opportunity, right around the corner if said inverted hammer plays out, if 50-month EMA holds up, right? A lot of ifs, but when does it ever seem like the right time, right? You almost never can anticipate this kind of move, right? So could we have that again? Of course, greater than 0% chance at anything, right? So hopefully you found that helpful. I want to go back to the weekly real quick and look at a couple indicators, show you a snapshot of what I'm watching here, right? The big thing is the RSI, one of the big one, right? We broke this support. We need to recover that quickly. Or, if we come back up here and we reject off of this, right, we're probably done for the rest of 2023 for the most, bullish implications, right? So watch for that at weekly close. We'll see where we end up doing. I think it would probably take about a 27, 28K Bitcoin to get back above here, just FYI. However, we do have a slight bullish potential right here. The ADX and the I has just crossed bullish. Last time I did that was back in January 2023. So we'll see. That was likely because of the grayscale, quick move. Not as heavy here as it was back here because the ADX, this orange line, is now under 25, right? So this kind of shows your strength, right? You really want that above 25 to get a conviction of what's going on here. So maybe take that with a grain of salt, but it's still worth at least noting. That's about all I got. Hopefully found some benefit in that. So inverted hammer, anywhere between where we are now and 25.6, 25.5 could still be that. Also could morph and do something completely different between now and, Sunday close. So just watch it. Just FYI on that. Big down candle in the decision last week, followed up by an inverted hammer. Might catch some people off guard here if that does in fact print. And we go back up. Where would we want to see the bulls close? The 21 week. We got to recapture the 21 week, 27.5. That's where the bulls can start to show up again. That's the 8 week as well in that red. You can see us, breaking below that. So bulls got a chance if we can close back above here this week, next week, any week, right? Get back above the 21 week. That's historically where you hold for, bullish momentum and an uptrend. That's where we held the previous 2 times. So yes, this time is different right now. We've closed our first weekly candle 2 weeks ago, right here. I look at the calendar like I'm trying to do the math, like 1, 2. All right, I'll wrap it up there. Let's do our quote of the day. A person who won't read has no advantage over one who can't read. I mean, this is a fantastic quote by Mr. Twain, and doesn't just apply to reading, right? Maybe you don't exercise. You have no advantage over someone that is in a wheelchair, right? Stop being a lazy piece of shit and go out and run. All right. Speaking of non-pieces of shit, how about the best supercar America's ever produced, in my opinion? The Ford GT. Carbon everywhere. This has the best air suspension out of any car ever produced. If you've never seen it and you're interested, go do a YouTube video on this. It is insane. It's like air suspension down, like I think it's about 3 inches. It's pretty cool. And then if you want to take it off or go back up, you just hit a button and it like trampolines up. It's almost instant. So it's like you can like bounce in it. Pretty cool. But a little expensive. I think $1 million still, here and there, depending on your trim options and, specifications. But, look at the inside. They've got it like wrapped like there's going to be a fucking murder scene in there. Steering wheel's wrapped. They got curtains all over. Don't mess around with these. These are awesome. The doors, if you never say, oh, got one right here. Costco run. Happen to have it in the green. Look at the doors, right? Not quite Lambo, not quite anything. They're like Ford unique, right? They open up sideways and up. Pretty awesome. Look at the back. Jesus. I mean, it's just awesome. Why can't we do another one? Let's America step up the Italian supercar game, right? But that's the Ford GT. All right. I'll wrap it up there. Have a great weekend. Labor Day weekend for those in the U.S. Long 3-day weekend. So I'll be back Tuesday if you're lucky. Otherwise, join us on Telegram, Twitter. I'll see you there. More content on Telegram, private group. Hope to help you out there more. And yeah, have a good one. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. It's not much. I'll do anything twice.